If you're over 35 and that belly fat just won't budge no matter how clean you eat or how much exercise you do, these 4 morning habits are about to change everything for you. Plus, I'm sharing my secret bonus habit at the end that most women overlook. I'm Dr. Nina, a licensed clinical psychologist, and in my early 20s, I lost over 100 pounds and I kept it off for nearly 20 years. Then I had to figure this ish out all over again because I had my baby at 40. And let me be real, that postpartum belly was humbling. I kept going back to the mirror 5 minutes later after the last time I looked, thinking, is my midsection ever gonna look normal? This thing used to be flat. I know so many of you all are juggling family, career, and trying to take care of yourselves. And I know it can seem impossible some days. Drop a comment and let me know your biggest morning struggle right now. Is it finding time, energy, motivation? I want to understand what you're really dealing with. But before we dive in, this content is for educational purposes only. Always consult with your healthcare provider before trying any new eating patterns or exercise routines. And that's especially if you have current health conditions or take medications. Every one of our needs are different. And make sure you check out the description below for my boundary setting checklist as well as my goal setting workbook. They're going to be perfect complements to these habits. My gift to you.
Dr. Nina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
And stick around for that bonus habit because it honestly ties everything together. Now, before we dive into these habits, I'm thankful to Hume Health for sponsoring today's video. And they're oldie but goodie over here on this channel. I've been sharing them with you for about a year now. And they've been revolutionary for tracking my progress. And if you're new to this, it ain't what you think. The Hume Health Body Pod has completely changed how I understand my body composition. Baby, this ain't just no scale. This ain't your auntie scale. Even though I might be your auntie, I got the Hume. It's a full body analyzer that gives the same detailed breakdown that you might get in your doctor's office. You know, with those expensive in-body scans. Look, y'all, it shows exactly how much muscle I have in my arms, my legs, my torso, my body fat percentage, and it even tracks your metabolic age. This information has been crucial because when you're over 40, the scale might stay the same, but you might be lowering your fat percentage while upping the muscle or maintaining it. What I love the most is that it connects with my Hume app to give me personalized insights. This is based on my sleep, activity, and body composition changes. When I was really struggling with my postpartum belly, and I was struggling. Struggle bus central. This helped me to see even when my weight plateaued, my body composition was improving. The Body Pod uses 8 frequency sensors, and that's for 98% medical grade accuracy. Your discount code stacks on top of Hume's current sale. That's to save up to 50% total. Use my code NINA. But hurry, this discount code is only valid for 7 days. And get this, if you're in the US, it's even HSA and FSA eligible. So check it out now or after this video, right? Thanks to our sponsor Hume for today's video. Habit number 1 is strategic intermittent fasting timing. And this is the piece that most women miss completely. So y'all know I do 16/8 intermittent fasting. My eating window is from 12:30 p.m. to about 8:30 p.m. And the timing isn't random. It's specifically designed to support your natural hormone rhythm. When I first started intermittent fasting after having my baby, I'm gonna admit I was doing it randomly, as if I didn't know how to do it. Skipping meals here and there without structure. Y'all, my body stayed confused. And guess what? I wasn't seeing any results. And I really started at the beginning of the year when I told y'all I was at the beginning of January. I realized that how you fast mattered much more than just when you fast. Here's what the research shows about intermittent fasting and belly fat specifically. During your fasting window, your insulin levels drop significantly. Low insulin is crucial for belly fat loss because insulin is what? A storage hormone. When it's elevated, your body holds on to fat, especially around that midsection. And for me, baby, I was looking like a whole marshmallow, busting out of pants. But here's the part that most people don't understand. Your cortisol naturally peaks in the morning, and this actually helps with fat burning when you're in the fasted state. By the time I break my fast at 12:30 p.m., I've been in optimal fat burning mode for hours. That's a flex. Additionally, fasting triggers growth hormone release, which peaks during sleep and extends into your morning fasting hours. Growth hormone is your body's natural fat burning and your muscle preserving hormone. And when you eat too early, you shut down that natural process. So here's an idea. Start with a 12-hour eating window. You don't have to go all in like me, baby. I like to jump into the pool fast. Then gradually shift to the 16/8 over 2 to 3 weeks. Your eating window should align with your natural energy patterns. Don't force a 6 a.m. eating window if you naturally feel energized later on in the day. It's not going to benefit you. Habit number 2 is optimizing what you do during your fasting window, because this actually determines whether you burn fat or if you store it. I start every morning with with 16 to 20 ounces of water, strategic watering. Then I have a nice black coffee or a little tainted coffee, okay, and some herbal tea. But here's the key. Sometimes I add electrolytes, and that helps to prevent the brain fatigue and the brain fog, which usually sabotages our fasting attempts. Now, y'all, I used to think that any calories would break my fast. So I'd force myself to drink so much water until I felt miserable. That's when I learned that under 10 calories will not significantly affect autophagy or fat burning, but it will help you feel amazing. During your fasting window, focus on hydration, also light movement and stress management. Avoid super intense workouts beyond your ability during your fasting window. Save those hard ones for your eating window when you have more fuel. The goal is to feel energized and clear-headed, not depleted. And if you're feeling weak or even obsessing about food, your eating window might be too long or poorly timed for your current lifestyle. So think about rearranging it to fit your own needs. That's okay. Customize it. Habit number 3 is maximizing nutrition density during your eating window. And this is where you can accelerate fat loss or completely sabotage it. And we ain't trying to sabotage. When you only got 8 hours to eat, like me, you need to make every meal count. I prioritize protein first. I get 140 plus grams of protein in my eating window. Then I add healthy fats and what I call strategic carbing. Now look, y'all, I used to break my fast with whatever was convenient. And I mean whatever. Then wonder why I felt sluggish and craved the junk foods all throughout the day. Here's what changed everything for me. Your first meal sets your hormonal tone for your entire eating window. My first meal is always strategically protein heavy, usually 40 plus grams with healthy fats and fibers. This actually stabilizes my blood sugar and it prevents the afternoon energy crashes. You know, the ones that lead to bad and poor food choices. What I do to hustle up on this is eat my largest meals first, then a moderate second meal, and then I stop eating 3 hours before bed. This supports better sleep and overnight fat burning. Remember, intermittent fasting isn't just about when you eat. It's about creating the optimal conditions for fat loss, and that's during both fasting and feeding periods. And let me be honest with y'all. You asked me about what I eat in a day, and I'm going to do a video about it, but the things that really boost my protein is bone broth, okay? Turkey cutlets, ground turkey, ground chicken, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I also love chicken breast, especially if I'm going to have a salad or a wrap. I love albacore tuna and I get it right out the can. I am not ashamed, okay? And what I also try to do is make sure that I do little things throughout the day, like add in plain Greek yogurt as a sauce for different things that I have. I might throw in some vegetables and toss it with it. I also love my calorie-free, or I should say carb-free, my carb-free noodles that I get from Thrive Market. I mix those up with the little sauce that I come up with as well. And I normally just look for little places where I can add in things. Even making a protein smoothie, getting some good quality protein that you can use. I like Dimetize personally, but there's a lot of things that you can do. And also the Oikos 30 grams of protein shakes. Those are amazing. I mix those with my coffee in order to give myself a little bit of style and flair, but it gives me 30 grams of protein in that one hit, boo. Okay, so there's multiple things you can do to mix and match. Habit number 4 is all about syncing your movement with your fasting rhythm. And this is where I need to address something that it took me way too long to accept. You can't spot reduce belly fat. If they telling you you can, it's a scam. It's a scam. I don't care how many crunches you do or how many targeted ab workouts you find on Instagram. I spent months postpartum doing planks and sit-ups. And while it does help with strengthening that core, I was still spending time in the mirror looking at my midsection, wondering why it wasn't getting any flatter. Even when I knew the truth. I knew it. Here's what I wish somebody had took me aside and said in all my postpartum glory, okay? That loose skin and stubborn fat that you get, especially after having a baby or some other life transformation, is not something you could just crunch away. Your belly fat comes off when your overall body fat decreases. Your body makes the choice. And that happens through consistent movements that support your metabolism, not targeted exercises. Now, I choose to do my movement during my fasting window, usually anywhere from about 7 to 9 a.m. But the intensity depends on my energy levels and my menstrual cycle. And let me let you into something. This ain't about punishing yourself while you're hungry. During your fasting windows, your glycogen stores are lower, so your body more readily burns fat for fuel. But this only works if you match your exercise intensity with your current state. Now look, if I feel energized during my fast, I'll do strength training, a brisk walk, or a nice jog. But if I feel low energy energy, I'm going to do a walk, light stretching, maybe some yoga. Week 1 to 2 of my cycle, I can handle high intensity while fasting. Week 3 to 4, I know better and I keep it lighter. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself during your fast. It's to move in a way that enhances fat burning while supporting your energy for the rest of the day. And remember, belly fat responds to overall fat loss, not those targeted ab exercises. I'm sorry, boo. Before we get to those bonus habits, I want to address the common mistakes that I see that most women make, especially when it comes to these morning habits. Because what I've learned from myself is that doing them wrong can actually make belly fat worse and more resistant. Mistake number 1 is the all or nothing approach to intermittent fasting. I see women forcing these 20-hour fasts when their bodies just aren't ready, or giving up completely after eating one day outside of their window. We'd be looking for any reason to throw away the whole journey. Your body actually needs time to adjust to new eating patterns. Now, I made this mistake during my postpartum journey. I tried to jump back into that intense fasting from my 20s. But my body was different. I was pumping breast milk, sleep deprived, and I was hormonally chaotic. Just chaotic all over. I had to adapt my approach. Mistake number 2 is doing high intensity workouts while fasting without considering your current capacity. If you're new to fasting or if you're going through hormonal changes overall, intense exercises while depleted can spike cortisol. And guess what? That actually promotes belly fat storage. Now here's what happens. When you combine fasting stress with exercise stress, because there is such a thing, your cortisol can remain elevated for hours. Chronic cortisol elevation specifically promotes visceral fat, that deep belly fat that's around your organs that's very stubborn to lose. Mistake number 3 in a nutshell is ignoring how your menstrual cycle affects your fasting tolerance and also your exercise capacity. During your luteal phase, days 15 to 28 of your cycle, your progesterone happens to be higher. This can make fasting feel harder and intense cardio even more unbearable. I've learned to be more flexible with my eating window during the second half of my cycle. Sometimes I shorten my fast by an hour or focus on even gentler movements or a very slow and steady jog instead of my normal run. It's not giving up. It's working with my biology instead of against it. And mistake 4 is using only the scale to measure progress. And I know y'all guilty of this. I am too. Click like if you are. When you're building these habits, especially when you're bringing in strength training, you might gain muscle while losing fat. The scale might stay the same, which I know is triggering, but your body composition and how your clothes fit is going to change dramatically. And this is especially important for belly fat because as you lose visceral fat and gain muscle, your midsection is going to look smaller and more defined, most snatched, even if that weight don't change much. This is why body composition tracking is so very crucial. Now, here's my bonus habit that most women completely overlook. And it's honestly the secret weapon that ties everything else together. I've said it before, but track your body composition and not your weight, I urge you. And that's why I like my Hume Body Pod, because the scale has lied to me multiple times. It's like a scammer that keeps calling my phone. But body composition is going to give you such a real story, a rich and full one. I can't tell y'all how many times my weight has stayed exactly the same, even during my first fitness journey. But my body fat percentage was dropping and my muscle mass was increasing. Without tracking composition, I would have thought that nothing was working. And that's more defeating. And this was especially important for me during my postpartum months, when my belly fat was looking way different, even though the weight on the scale wasn't falling as quickly as I would have liked. Keep this in mind. When you're over 35, successful weight loss looks like dropping body fat percentage while also increasing your muscle mass and maintaining it. The whole goal is that your clothes will fit better, your energy improves, and your metabolic health gets stronger. This is going to be your key and your goal to understanding what's actually working for you and what's not. And honestly, y'all, a lot of us, when something ain't working, we ain't willing to put no more time into it. We would rather take either the easy way out or just throw it away altogether. I get it. Now, which one of these 4 habits do you think you're going to get into, and which one of the mistakes do you find yourself making? Now, these morning habits I've given you, they work with your biology instead of against it. And I want y'all to remember, you cannot spot reduce belly fat, but you can create a great environment for reducing fat all over your body so your body can decide where to pull it from. And if you stick around for the full show, baby, you're going to be happy with the result. But I want you to pick one habit to start with, one little grasshopper. Be consistent for 30 days and then start a new one, add on a new one. Whether this is your first attempt or if you're starting all over again, these habits work because they address the hormonal and metabolic factors that can actually control that belly fat. But you've got this. All right, y'all, make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Check out my new website and also get those gifts that are over there for you, as well as my LTK shop for all of my favorite health faves. that are affordable. Okay. Dr. Nina signing out. Peace.